Hi, I'm Max Wagg. This is the University of Alberta's Mechanical Engineering Metal Shop, and amongst the testing equipment and the MecE 260 students frantically working on their vehicle projects sit the machines that allow us to measure, cut, and assemble pieces of metal into fantastic machines and contraptions. Now, I always sort of took certain aspects of the metal shop for granted. For example, the water jet cutter and lathes can make pieces accurate to within a couple of micrometers, or 1/10,000th of an inch. Another thing that escaped my notice was the fact that commonplace things like screws are all so easy to use because they are made to standard diameters, thread sizes, and pitch angles. No, these things never really occurred to me until I stumbled across a fellow by the name of Sir Joseph Whitworth, a mechanical engineer from the 19th century whose contributions to precision machining and general industry facilitated an enormous leap forward in British technologies in the mid-1800s. So today, I'm going to talk about three main aspects of Whitworth's life. 1. Education and early apprenticeships. 2. Work in creating the true plane in metalwork. And 3. Contributions to the standardization of screw threads. Let's get started, shall we? Whitworth was born in 1803 in Stockport, England, and because his father was a schoolmaster, although some other accounts say that he was a church minister, he was homeschooled until the age of 12, and it was apparent from a very early age that Whitworth had an all-encompassing fascination with machinery. Consequently, from the ages 12 to 14, he was enrolled in William Vince Academy, a school that deviated from the traditional educational system to place more emphasis on practical learning. So you could say it was almost like the first engineering school. From there, Whitworth became an indentured apprentice in his uncle's cotton spinning mill, and although he quickly picked up the trade, he was quite critical of the accuracy with which the machines were made, and had a strong desire to make changes to the standards of the various machines. After leaving his uncle's business, Whitworth found himself working under Henry Maudslay, who is credited with the screw-cutting lathe and was also held in high regard for his work in trying to achieve the machining of a true plane, or a completely flat metal sheet that will greatly ease metalworking and precision machine tooling. Maudslay's influence was certainly significant, and would play a large part in Whitworth's contributions to these areas of study in his later years. As mentioned earlier, one of Whitworth's main interests was creating a truly flat plane. As you can imagine, it's much easier to process and machine a perfectly flat piece of metal, because any pits or bumps in the metal can cause the machining tools to slip, causing less accurate feature, and can also cause an uneven wear on drill bits or cutting edges. Joseph Whitworth took note of this early in his career and proposed a system for enhancing the trueness of the metal that entailed first coating the metal in a thin layer of coloring matter, such as red ochre and oil, and then scraping off any blemishes by hand. Whitworth published a paper on the subject in 1840, titled "A Paper on Metallic Surfaces or True Planes." Although scraping was occasionally used at the time, it was usually followed by the quicker but less precise method of grinding. Whitworth's obsession with machine accuracy eventually led him to creating a machine that could detect minute differences of less than a millionth of an inch, an impressive statistic seeing as the accepted error for most machine tools at the time was about 1/16th of an inch. From there, he went on to devise his own universal system of screw threads based on the average pitch and depth of a variety of screws he collected from several different manufacturers. This universal Whitworth thread, supported by his paper Uniform System of Screw Threads, was quickly adopted by both manufacturers and the institutions of civil and mechanical engineering in Britain. However, it was not until 1880 that they were officially adopted by the Board of Trade in Britain. Alright, well, that's all I have to say for right now. Hopefully those of you watching learned a little bit about Sir Joseph Whitworth today. I covered his education and early apprenticeships, his work in creating the true plane in metalwork, and his contributions to the standardization of screw threads. I hope you learned a lot. My name is Max Wagg, and thank you very much for watching.